Hello everyone, welcome to week 4 of Academic Skills and Studying with Confidence. I am Syeda Faiza Sogra. So today's learning outcome is how to do reference sources in the appropriate referencing style for their subject area. At the end of this session, you will be able to distinguish between APA and Harvard referencing style, and also know common mistakes in referencing, and know about what plagiarism is, and we can exercise paraphrasing. Here is a clear demonstration to differentiate between APA referencing style and Harvard referencing style while doing the references book. So we can see when we do the referencing for APA, the addition is in bracket, but when we do it for Harvard, the addition is without the bracket. Moving forward, the journal articles. Here we can see the difference between APA and Harvard style while referencing the journal articles. Same, in APA, we use the bracket when we mention the year, but in Harvard, we do not use the bracket when we mention the year while referencing for journal articles. Here is an activity for all the students to guess what is a referencing style, whether it's APA or Harvard referencing style. Here is another activity where it shows that the student has to do the references according to the alphabetical order. So is it possible to make errors while doing the referencing? Yes, it is possible. That's why we have to be very much careful while doing the referencing. So what can go wrong? So when we do referencing, certain things can go wrong. First, activity tells that established known facts don't need referencing. For example, London is the capital of England, so it is a fact, so you don't need to reference it. So how do you know this doesn't need referencing? When we know it's a universal fact, we do not need to reference it. Here is a video which is going to show the common mistakes we do when we do the referencing. From the video, these are the 7 notes we have taken down that can be some mistakes, some common mistakes when we do the referencing. Here is another group activity. So when we do referencing, it's very important that we follow a consistent style. Because inconsistent style while referencing is quite a common error. So much so that in text citation could be different from bibliography. So we have to adopt to one style and stick to it. So paraphrasing, what is paraphrasing? Here we are going to learn about that. Paraphrasing is demonstrating your understanding of the text you're reading by writing them in your own words without altering the meaning. It means rewriting the same information in a different way. Even if you paraphrase, you will still have to provide references because you're taking someone else's idea. So do I really need citations when paraphrasing? Yes, paraphrasing is borrowing someone else's idea. So if you do give the credit to the owner, it is cheating and it's copying. Maybe one day you can come up with your own ideas that others will borrow. So making references attractive. So for a 1,000 word essay, we do not add too many references. We have to see the word count, and based on that, we have to do the references. So while doing the references and selecting the reliable source, we have to be very careful. Incorrect placement of commas. Confusing and tedious as it is, you still need to get it right. We have to fix the commas and the full stop right in the place to do the referencing correctly. Keeping it in alphabetical order is important because if you do not keep it in alphabetical order, it's another common error. Here is another activity we're doing in the class about the common errors we face when we do referencing. Here is an example of 10 common errors we face when we do referencing or bibliography. Among them, one is alphabetism, self-plagiarism, wrong and missing URL, no author voice, wrong style, too minimal reference, inconsistent style, extra references, inadequate paraphrases, and uncited references. So after today's session, we will be able to distinguish between AP and Harvard referencing style, track common mistakes in referencing, explain what plagiarism is, and exercise paraphrasing. Next week, we're going to learn about different types of assignments or reports such as portfolio, presentation, report, etc., and why they're important, and using technical skills on assignment, report, and structure. Moving forward to week 5, today we're going to cover the demonstrate effective academic presentation skills. So at the end of this session, you will be able to explain the features of different types of assignments, which is project, report, essay, and portfolio, and how to use technical skills on assignments or reports. So what is a project? Today we're going to cover what is a project. So project is a temporary endeavor to create a unique product, service, or result. Projects usually have a specific objective to be achieved at a specific time frame. Here is a list of elements of a project. So before we start a project, we need to submit a project proposal. And when it gets approved, only then we can start the report. What is a report? Report is usually ordered to identify and examine issues, events, or findings that have happened within an organization or findings from a research investigation. It investigates or analyzes an issue and comes to a conclusion. What is an essay? This involves analyzing or evaluating theories, past research by other people, and ideas. Usually it has a specific content and a planned structure. Here is a difference between essay and report. Portfolio. What is a portfolio? It's a set of pictures, writings, or documents that present someone's work. It is a collection of work to showcase your talents. Portfolios provide snapshots of students' performance and talents up to a particular point. When to use a portfolio? As a learning experience, to reflect upon your work, to demonstrate learning achievements of assessment purpose, and to support a job application. Here is a video where we can see how to set the table of contents in a Microsoft Word and what are the steps to be followed. Here is a video how to adjust page margins in Microsoft Word. These videos are essential for doing the portfolios. So now, after this session, you will be able to distinguish between different types of assignments and use technology on assignments and reports. Next week, we are going to cover about effective strategies to do a successful presentation. Moving to week 6, today we are going to demonstrate effective presentation skills. So at the end of the session, you will be able to understand important things needs to be considered when designing a presentation and important things to be considered when presenting. Here is a list of tips for designing a presentation. We have to plan and outline the presentation. Select slide design colors based on the theme. Emphasize one point per slide. Don't put too much information on a slide. Tips for designing a presentation. Include pictures, videos, graphs, and charts to make it clear and interesting. Keep it simple. Create a compelling structure. Pay attention to the design techniques, font size, style, and colors. Don't forget the theme or tone of your presentation when designing the slides because it's very important. Here is a video where we can see how to improve our presentation design. To remember when presenting, we have to smile and maintain the eye contact, use of body language and facial expressions, avoid distractions, preparation is the key, practice makes it perfect. Practice in front of a mirror, crowd, time yourself, record yourself, and be confident. Things to remember when presenting. Speak freely, avoid filler words like so, use different types of media, use effective pauses, engage with the audience. Ask simple questions to interact with the audience. So now you will be able to understand the important things that needs to be considered when designing a presentation, and also things to consider when presenting. Next week, we're going to learn about key support networks available to school system students and online and in-campus library services available to students. Thank you. In week 7, today we are going to cover about effective presentation skills. So today we are going to learn about the do's and don'ts in oral presentation and the common structure of a presentation. So ice-breaking question, how to do an effective oral presentation. Here is a video where we can see what are the do's and don'ts in an oral presentation. Here is a video of a common structure of a presentation. Here is a tip for structuring presentation. We start with an introduction, then we move on to the body, and then we summarize the conclusion. Tips for structuring presentations. Introduction. We greet the audience, express special acknowledgement if appropriate, give discussion opportunity, introduce your topic, and explain the purpose of the talk. Tips for structuring presentation body. You may structure the facts chronologically, by priority, by theme. Logical flow. The main points should be brought one by one with evidence. Tips for structuring presentations conclusion. Summarize the presentation, emphasis on the main message of your talk, explain how they can be applied, the information learned in the presentation, give question time, acknowledge others who helped you, and end the presentation with a short and powerful sentence or quote. So now you should be able to understand the do's and don'ts in an oral presentation and the tips for effective presentation. Thank you.